Right, everyone, back at it. As you can see, the win rates took a bit of a nosedive. I had a bad session yesterday, which it's a shame I didn't record, really, because it would have made some interesting content with people calling 4-bets with ace-4 suited. So I lost two buy-ins, maybe just over. I wasn't far off me 3 buy-in cut off. I always stop playing when I lose 3 buy-ins. So I was about round about 3 buy-ins down yesterday, so just stopped playing. So back at it today, just over 6,000 hands, 4,000 to go at 5-L, and hopefully we can get it over 10 big blinds per 100 before we finish with our 10,000 hands. That'd be ideal. Just going to follow this up with a c-bet, and I don't think we need to go large. We block a lot of Jack X. Ace is a good card for us. Pretty sure a Jack would have at least thought about raising here. I don't think we should be going big. And trying to get called by a 9. Just going for a really, really small bet. And this we're going to raise. So we've got top pair and a good shot. We definitely want to continue with a c-bet. Doesn't need to be large. Middle pair, I should say. And a good shot. That's a terrible, terrible card. I think we just check back this now and we can think about calling river. And I'm going to call this a7 suited as well. So he's pretty much saying he's got a flush. We block some king. We block some straight draws. But what exactly goes that size other than a flush, I don't know. So I'm just going to fold. They normally put you on ace king when you 3-bet, so if he's leading out for 3/4 pot when there's an ace high board there, we are probably beat with our 3rd pair. I don't really see what bluffs he's got there either. So we'll just fold that one. I might have a look at that one later. But I can't see how 3rd pair is good there. You can obviously call with ace queen, king queen, which we block a little bit of, queen 10 on the flop, and then he's got all his flush draws as well he's calling with, which beat us. So pretty sure we will beat there. The jacks will raise, and we're going to go to 10 big blinds, I think. Against a 4-bet we would have called. I had a look at his pre-flop statistics. With this guy being so short, I'm just going to fold this 6-7 off. We'll flat in the big blind with Jack 10 suited. And not ideal. We've got a good shot and no backdoor flush draws. So against the bet, well, I'm pretty much just going to fold this. We're not doing very well here. You can obviously have a lot of full houses as well. And King X. I'm just going to check this back. I'm not even going to bother bluffing at it. We might have got him to fold that, who knows. I don't fancy bluffing into multiple people, but it's not very connected, this board, and we do block some king queen, so I'm going to fire one quite large c-bet out and hopefully try and take this down. And this is obviously just a fold. We don't want to be calling 4-bet jams with queen jack suited. Pocket tens, we don't mind getting it in against a 40 big blind stack. Let's have a look at this guy. 10% 3-bet. I think this wants to go up to 25. We'll probably fold if he jams. We're in a bit of a sticky situation if he jams and then he calls. I'm going to fold this. Obviously this has gone open 3-bet, cold 4-bet, and then a 5-bet jam. I'm just going to fold. Best case, he's got ace king there. And this has pretty much been the story of the last 2 days playing, really. I'm just running into it. You don't really want to call with a pocket tens. I hate calling 3-bets. I'd rather just 4-bet. This guy's super tight. He's only paid a handful of hands. I'm going to fold this one. Against this guy, I'm going to 4-bet this. In position. I don't really want to call with king queen off. I'd rather just 4-bet it and then fold if you 5-bets. Suited I don't mind calling, but offsuit I'd rather just 4-bet it and then makes the decisions easier. Same story with this as well. We're going to raise this. He's quite aggressive. I'm going to 4-bet this as well. Out of position, we'll go to 22. And the ace-5 will open. You've got to look at the guy's pre-flop 3-bet statistics before making a decision like that. If he's got a 3% 3-bet, I'm just going to fold that king-queen suited pre. But we had a look at him there and he was a 10% there for 3-betting. So we can use hands like this as a 4-bet bluffs because we block some of his stronger holdings. He's less likely to have queens or kings because obviously we are holding a king and a queen and ace king and stuff like that. So he's more likely 3-betting with a hand like 9s or 10s or ace 10 suited or ace jack suited or offsuit, which doesn't really want to call a 4-bet. Or shouldn't, but this is 5-0 and I've seen some stupid stuff in the last couple of days. So this definitely going to call. We're basically just set mine and want to hit a 7, which we don't. I can see ace king betting here, aces and kings obviously. Pocket 10s, I don't see going for half pot. I think we've just got to fold this really. We could maybe call 1, but we see a 10, an ace or a king. We're just wasting our money really. There's too many bad turn and river cards to continue with. On that flop, it's pretty bad. Quite happy just to get out of that one. We'll call the 3s. We'll just set mine in again. We don't hit. This massively favours his middle position. Opening range. He's got some bluffs with your King 10 and Jack 10 suited, but he's holding a lot of Ace X from that position, so I am just going to fold. Depending on price, we'll definitely call this. In fact, I'm going to use this as a bluff raise. And we probably would have opened this against two tighter guys, but with an open, I'm just going to fold it and get out of the way. And with this guy being quite loose as well, I'm not going to play this hand either. Pocket queens. And should we get chance, I would have been opening this against definitely this guy. Seems pretty tight, but unfortunately we get an open in front of us. Ace 9 off, I would like to open. And this we're going to bump right up to 10. Against a 4-bet, we're in a bit of a tricky spot. I'm actually going to c-bet this small. I'm going to barrel on any heart, Jack or Ace. And I think we go quite small again. And Jack 10 suited in position. This guy, we don't have a great deal of hands on him. He's not made it that big, so I'm actually going to call this. And flop really well, obviously. I think we just fast play this and raise up to 20. If he calls, we just jam turn, providing it's not a heart. There'd been an awkward turn card if he called, making the decision on what to do. For one big blind, this is a terrible hand, but I can't really fold for that size. And this, I think we probably serves better off raising. I mean, he's fairly tight. I think I'm just going to flat this actually. He's fairly tight. And a small bet. He'll call with a club in his hand. And we've definitely not got the best hand, I wouldn't think now. I think we just go for a really small bet and fold and check. And then we'll just call this. He's made it quite large. If we do hit a diamond, it doesn't look like we have a diamond draw. He can have hearts, and we have a decent, very, very decent jack. I think I'm going to call this. And we lose to Queen X of hearts. Obviously the flush gets there with that. King 10, spades. 3-2 of hearts. What a life you lead, sir. What a life you lead. Probably should have just folded. The jacks we're going to raise. And the nines will probably flat versus an early open. Yeah, I'll just flat against this guy. Probably should have raised against him actually. I'm going to call this off. Yeah, okay, mate, no problem. That has pretty much been the story of the last few days. Unbelievable. Terrible, terrible turn card. We've gone quite large there for protection, really. I think we check this back. And depending on size, I might call river. Against that size, I'm going to call. If you'd gone massive there, I would have folded, to be honest with you. I think we definitely want to raise the tens here for value. And these two guys, I'm going to open this against these two guys. And Jack's same story again. We'll be raising, should we see an open, and we'll be 4-betting these as well if we get raised for value. I won't hate getting them in. If he jams, I will be calling. Pretty good flop. I think we just probably end up going bust with this one. We've got a call if he jams. We have the straight draw and an overpair at the board. I'll probably play for another 10 minutes or so and then call this one a session. I'm going to flat this 7-6 suited, and I think I might raise this one. Yeah, I'm going to raise. And this, we could probably lead out on this board. To be fair, it doesn't do his range any favours really. I'm going to pop a small raise out. And hopefully he hasn't got a jack. I think we'll see a pretty sharp raise if he does. I think a jack would have raised there all day. So you can have 9-10. I think if we go half pot and fold to a jam, probably the best course of action. Ten's probably the worst card for us to see. If he puts us on a 10 there, if he's holding an overpair like queens or kings or aces, obviously we're not going to get paid there with that 10 coming on the river. It's a bad card for us really. And we'll just be folding this. If we get a chance to open the Queen 8, again we're just looking at this guy's VPIP, it's very low. Northern Awesome were playing pretty tight, so we would have been opening any two against him. Conversely, this guy's far too loose, so we're not going to bother with this. And pocket queens again. And we're definitely bumping this up for value. And definitely opening the ace 4 off. Hang loose 7 deuce. do we want to call this for a big blind? We might as well. Completely whiff. I'd love that there being 7 deuce deuce. And we'll just fold that. We're looking at these guys being fairly tight. So this would have been an open. And look at this guy, 64% VPIP. It's just ridiculous. How many hands has he played? 28, still ridiculous. And this guy looks fairly tight, so we'll give him a tight tag. While we're looking, and open the twos. And this guy is quite aggressive, and he's made that fairly large. I'm going to fold this purely because it looks to me like he's got a very strong hand, and he's trying to get pile money in against somebody who's quite deep stacked. I'm just going to fold this. I don't like the price we're being given, and that flop would have been horrendous as well. He is very aggro. However, if I had a very strong hand against somebody else who's 150 bigs deep, I would also be raising a little bit larger with my value, trying to get the money in. I'm just going to fire a c-bet off here. Expect all these pairs to call. I'm just pretty much giving up now. That turn card's terrible for us. We haven't picked up anything really. And I don't really see what he would have called with that's worse than what we've got. Apart from that, we'll say I don't know what he's doing calling a flop bet there, but never mind. Pocket kings. And we'll get these bumped up for value. Love it if he jams. We would have been calling off there if it got chucked in. And aces as well. Have run into aces as well. Kings v aces a couple of times, which is all things you love to see. Let's just make this 30 because we're both quite deep. Yes, please hold. No jack, please. Yeah, we'll run it twice, mate. The way I've been running, it's probably best we do. Marvellous. ace jack, we will definitely open. This is a 30% VPIP in 218 hands. Yeah, I'll definitely call and flop nothing, and then pretty much we like that card. And I think we just bet again for half pot. What's he snapped us off with? Same hand. Okie dokie. This against this will not bother with. And a couple of more minutes and that'll be done for this little update session. Hopefully we don't crash and burn in the next 5 minutes, because this is been, well, it will be nice to book a win, because the last 2 sessions I haven't. We'll obviously raise this up should this guy open. I think this probably serves best as a check raise with the king of diamonds. And I'm quite happy just to check this down. He's never checking a jack back. He may have like a 2 or a 5 or something, or ace high potentially. And give us some good deal. Not exactly what I was looking for. We're going to call obviously because there's already 10 big blinds in the pot. Unless this guy squeezes, we'll just call. Flop nothing. And fold to a C bet. I don't believe for 1 second he has a 9. I'm not going to bother raising to get him off anything here. Pocket aces again. Just get a walk this time, unfortunately. This will probably do as a last hand, I think. And because he's made it big, we shall also make it big. For 1 big blind, I'll call the Queen 7 suited. And that'll do pretty much. I'll sit out and sit out. I'll play some more hands when I'm not recording. There's 284 to go in there. And then tot up where we're at. Nice to win a session in like a little 20-30 minute session, because I have not been running very well, so it's quite nice just to win a couple of buy-ins. Really happy with that. I'll probably, the next update with this Russian Cash Diaries will probably be when I've hit 10,000 hands at 5NL, and then let you know where I'm at. If I don't get above 10 big blinds per 100, I will be a little bit disappointed in 10,000 hands. But again, it's a small sample size, and I've been running into some hands yesterday and the day before, so we'll just see how it goes. If you want to say anything else in between times, just let me know. I will try and get this done. I've done the videos for people that have been requested for some coaching stuff. I've got another one come back to me about that as well. So if anybody else is interested in that, just let me know. And the email's in the description. I'll see you in the next video.